All right, happy Tuesday, everybody. I'm KHOU 11 meteorologist Pat Cavlin here with an update on the forecast here at home. We're also going to look around the country and, of course, in the tropics because things are starting to ramp up there just a little bit. Rest of the afternoon here at home, though, looks pretty good. We'll see a mix of sunshine and clouds, hot temperatures, and just maybe a stray shower or storm. We're pretty much in that pattern right now where we can't rule out maybe one or two spot downpours or storms that pop up just with the heating of the day. So just a normal August pattern for us here at home. No big flooding threats or big storm systems on the way for us, but it's hot outside, 92 degrees right now. Our normal this time of year is 96. I think we'll get there over the next few hours, but look at the temperature change from just 24 hours ago. This time yesterday we were 12 degrees cooler. Because we had a lot of cloud cover, because we had a lot of rain out there, obviously it's not the case today, so temperatures are just off to the races. And it's not just at Bush, everyone else, upper 80s, low 90s in a few spots, Palacios, Sugar Land. Galveston right now, it's 78 degrees, so there is some rain down at the coast that is cooling things off. But those of us that are just seeing sunshine and clouds, temperatures are a little bit hotter. But overall, we aren't going to be as rainy as we were yesterday, as we were through the end of last week. We're kind of back into that quieter pattern, and so of course that means more heat. Temperatures back to the mid and upper 90s, more or less where we should be for this time of the year. And it's not just us that's starting to heat up, the tropics also starting to heat up, and we'll talk about that. No threats to Houston, I just want to say that out front, at least for now. But there are a couple of systems that we're going to be watching, not just over the next few days, but really the next week or two. All right, so radar right now, again, is quiet for the most part. Different story, though, as we go a little farther south. Notice some showers over Galveston, so that's why they're coming in with a cooler temperature. Some good downpours, though, now starting to come into southern portions of Harris County, getting close to Sugar Land as well. No thunder or lightning with these, but some really hefty rain. I mean, we're talking 2-3 inch an hour rainfall rates. The good news, though, is that they're moving, so flooding is not a concern or an issue with any of these downpours. As we go through the rest of today, that's pretty much the forecast. Isolated downpours, hotter temperatures, again, compared to where we were yesterday. High temperatures yesterday only got to the low 90s. Today will be mid, maybe even upper 90s for a lot of spots. Tonight, though, we're quiet. We get you into Wednesday, more of the same, sunny and isolated storm chance. High pressure really stays in charge, though, as we go through the rest of the week. And so that's going to really keep a lid on any widespread storm chances. Again, we'll get showers out there, maybe a couple claps of thunder. But if these storms can't get tall enough in the sky, they're just going to be passing showers here with hot temperatures in the mid to upper 90s. Rain chances next few days, 20 to 30%. That's pretty much it. And really, I think we're going to end up changing this forecast to just have 30 across the board. So not a huge threat for rain here, just, again, more typical pattern for us. So let's time it out, future track. Through the rest of the evening, a couple downpours and storms could roll across the city. Later on, 4, 5, 6, 7 o'clock, things will start to wind down overnight. We're quiet. We get you into Wednesday morning. Sunshine to start for most of us. I can't rule out maybe 1 or 2 spot showers rolling off the Gulf in the morning. I think that will increase in coverage, though, here through the afternoon, but not by much. You know, maybe 1 or 2 showers in the city. Again, mainly south of the city and I-10 down towards the coast. Northern areas, very stray shower chance, if anything. And then through the rest of the day, that's pretty much how things will stay. Rolling ahead to Thursday now, more of the same. Thursday will start off with sunshine, and then by the afternoon, 20% shower chance, maybe a little bit higher as you get down towards the coastal spots, but that's pretty much the name of the game. And the reason why we're trending a little bit quieter has to do with high pressure coming in. This is mainly focused across the desert southwest, so that's where the focus for the heat will be, but we are going to be a little bit drier again with that high in place, so temperatures turn a little bit warmer, mid to upper 90s here the next few days. All right, let's talk tropics, and there's a lot to talk about, actually. We've got one named system on the board. That's Tropical Storm Dexter here. That's just north of Bermuda. Then we've got an area that may develop in Dexter's wake over the next 7 days, and really that time window is more like 3 to 4 days. There's a 40% chance that something could form. And then beyond that, a tropical wave is moving across the Atlantic right now. This came off the west coast of Africa. There's a 50-50 chance that develops, although that is expected to kind of recurve back out to sea. What you don't see on this map is another tropical wave over Africa right now that could develop as we get into next week. And I'll show you that in just a second. But let's start with Dexter first. The latest as of the 10 a.m. advisory, winds at 40 miles per hour, moving out to sea. It's a fish storm. It's not for anybody. There's Bermuda, that little speck on the map there. So this is well north of Bermuda even, and just going to kind of move over the shipping lanes through the North Atlantic. So here's future track. There's Dexter, again, top right of the screen. That moves away, but the energy from it trails behind. And watch what happens here by Thursday. We start to get a little bit of spin there, and that's right exactly where the Hurricane Center has outlined for us to watch later on this week. So Thursday, Friday into the weekend, there is going to be an area of low pressure that tries to develop here. This is not going to be a threat to Houston, but where it goes from there just remains to be seen. Does it kind of go into the Carolinas? Does it move north? Does it go out to sea? Way too early to tell, but I do think we'll see something try to form here by Thursday and Friday, and the water temperatures are more than warm enough. In fact, look at the stripe of darker red here that kind of snakes off into the North Atlantic. That's the Gulf Stream. That's warm water that comes from the Gulf, wraps around the southern tip of Florida, and comes all the way up here. So outside of the Gulf Stream, water temperatures are in the 70s. Not exactly warm enough for tropical development. Once you get inside of that, though, 80-degree water temperatures. So this is the development area that we're going to be watching for, since water temperatures are well into the 80s here later on this week. Now let's talk about the rest of the hurricane season. I mean, again, this is just a good reminder that we are starting to get into the busiest part of the season, right? We've been very quiet so far. You might be thinking, well, where's all this coming from all of a sudden? We're getting close to the peak of the season. It's August 5th. I would say from now through like mid to late October is really when we typically see the most amount of storm development. So we just talked about Dexter. We talked about the one that could be forming in Dexter's wake. There's those other two that I want to talk about here in just a second. I don't think I put it in the lineup, so hold on. Let me just step off screen here and make sure that's selected. Here it is. Okay, so the one off the west coast of Africa, the wave that's in the Atlantic, and then we'll get to your travel forecast here. This is the one that we want to talk about. 50-50 chance of developing. It's over open water right now. So again, this is expected to kind of recurve here. And watch, we put this into motion. You'll see what I'm talking about here. In the next few days, it kind of tracks into that area, right? So it's that little blob of red that we're keeping an eye on. Behind it, though, coming off the west coast of Africa, is another tropical wave. So this one will kind of fizzle as it moves towards the north and west. This one tracks farther south. And notice how it's more of a concentrated, compact area of red. That actually might try to organize here, but we're looking all the way ahead to next Tuesday. So it's not even on the Hurricane Center's, kind of radar right now, but I do think you're going to see them highlight that area again for that wave later on this week. And that'll be one to watch, especially if it tracks farther south, because that's going to allow it to move farther west instead of kind of curving back into the Atlantic. So that'll be the next one to watch as we get into this weekend and next week. Okay, now let's talk about the travel forecast. If you're going anywhere on Wednesday, northeast, it looks okay. A lot of wildfire smoke up here, so air quality is really crummy. A lot of cloud cover, too, from Boston down through D.C., temperatures 70s and 80s. In the southeast, we're tracking just daily afternoon shower and storm chances. Still some cool and cloudy weather from the Carolinas down into North Georgia. Hotter temperatures in the 90s getting into Florida, all the way along I-10 towards New Orleans. For us in Texas, hot, sunny, Amarillo, Midland, 102 with sunshine, 105 for El Paso. Upper 90s from San Antonio to Houston to Dallas, the triangle there. And then a little farther north to Kansas City, low 90s. Mid 80s in Chicago. Beautiful weather up there. Near 90 for St. Louis, mid 90s Springfield, 102 out in Kansas for Garden City, and cloudy skies, mid 80s for Minneapolis. Nearly 100 degrees for Denver tomorrow. A lot of sunshine up there. 100 on the nose for Salt Lake City, 109 for Vegas, 117 for Phoenix. Go to LA to cool off. 77 mix of sun and clouds. Beautiful weather in San Francisco, mid 80s, no humidity and sunshine up there. And finally in the Pacific Northwest, breezy, rainy, cool. Seattle 71, Boise, you're sunny and hot at 91 degrees. Wyoming mid 90s, lots of sunshine out there as well. All right, here's our forecast here at home. 96 for today, 97 for tomorrow, upper 90s and for Thursday and Friday. And again, just 20 to 30% shower and storm chances across the board all the way through the weekend and the start of next week. High temperatures getting back to where they should be in the mid-90s as we head into Saturday, Sunday, and beyond. That's a look at your forecast here on KHOU 11+. Thanks for joining us. I'll have an update on what's brewing in the tropics and what's happening on radar coming up on the KHOU 11 News at 4 o'clock. Hope to see you there.